ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಮನಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ನೋಡಲು ಕೇವಲ 25 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿ. ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮುಹೂರ್ತ ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಮನಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್.
When it comes to talking about the issues that are really plaguing the world in an entirety, I remember that when Congress or Mr. Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister of India, we had not really heard many things or a lot of noise about the climate change thing. Now people like Greta Thunberg and these people, this young lady has come out and she has been touring the entire world and talking about climate change. And I think there are a lot of places where we must give credit to the current dispensation. So Modi had actually he locked the horn and he took it very bravely, I would say, and he spoke about it. But when it comes to the shadow government, say for example in terms of Congress as having different departments in its own party, I don't see people talking about climate change. I don't see people tackling these kind of futuristic, innovative things about what do they think they will do. They do talk about economics. They will talk about BJP being divisive, BJP being X, or BJP doing something in a wrong manner. But I would really want to listen to those kind of sane voices coming out of Congress that talk about artificial intelligence. I want to bring it in such a particular manner.
See, today, I want to give an example. Okay? So we being a youth Congress member of Bangalore and district president, I started this initiative called Let's Take Charge. It's basically what we did was we gave out a video where we appealed to people to come out with the ideas of their own regarding the flood. Okay. How do we stop flood and what is the way forward? This was what was Let's Take Charge. In a single day, I got 10,000 people to enroll for it, and over a span of 7 days, we received about 33 or 34,000 requests, ideas. See, that was, according to me, it is our problem, our solutions. If you don't involve young minds, if you don't ask the youth today and take their suggestions and implement them, it will never change. Like you said, and I said, what we are facing today is, as you said about climate change, let it be about artificial intelligence, let it be of futuristic things. Until and unless the youth are being linked with it, the youth are being taken into confidence, their problems are being addressed, it is never going to change. And I think the way forward is, see, the average age in the parliament is 57, right? When a 57-year-old person is making a decision for a 30-year-old, it's not my wants and my thought that is going to come in, right? Then the ministers are in the bracket of 70 years, right? That's my grandfather's age. So my grandfather's age, they are making decisions for who we are, the future of the nation. What is the major part of the population of India today? Youth. It is in 25 to 18 to 25, 18 to 35 bracket.
Yeah.
That is, we are the major part of the population. So we should be making our rules. Until and unless youngsters are brought in, young women and men, I think more men and women should come into politics and youngsters should be molded in. And for that, I think Rahul Gandhiji's dream and the platform that he created with Youth Congress, anybody, an XYZ, anyone with a basic capacity to make few members and join them into the party, and you can contest your own election and become an office bearer at different levels, at block level, at district level, at state level, and then at the state president. You have that whole ecosystem that is built for you, where you can groom yourself to become anything that you want, and you can become the futuristic leader, and there you stand and you can voice for the youth. That is where I think and we should be heading towards. That is the future.
You are here in Bangalore. Does it not bother you that the student politics has been banned in Bangalore for a long time now? Why should it be banned?
See, in college they have banned it, but there's NSUI, there's ABVP, there are multiple organizations that has been handling by students. But as you said, in college elections have been banned.
Yeah.
And I think they should take that off. I think people should learn how this democracy works, how elections are done in the level of college, so that by the time they come out, they are ready for the real world. So I think that the government should take a step and come forward and change it. And see, as I said, today I can only sit here and make my voice heard, be heard. But if I want to make a difference, if I want to change something, I should be in the system, right? This is where many youngsters say, I want to get into politics, I want to do bring in change in life. But then what happens is they lose the ground. Like the last interview I was saying, if we want to have a coffee, you should know how to pour milk, how to put sugar, how to put coffee powder, then boil it and then put it in a cup and then have it.
But here is the problem that happens is, say for example, a person like me or our producer or the cameraman, he wants to get into politics.
Yes.
But we get an idea about politics from Gangs of Wasseypur kind of a thing.
No,
Is politics like
not
that?
at all.
Is it scary?
See, I will tell you one thing. I think as a politician's son, I get one step ahead of others, right? Because the senior leaders, I know them. Maybe I've seen them with my father. I've been working with them. So that one advantage we get. Apart from that, everything is same. You enter, so that is exactly what I said. This ecosystem that Rahul Gandhi has built is to answer that exact question. You can get into politics at a base level in the organization, understand how this functions, learn yourself, and then get into electoral politics. This is the way that we need to nurture new people. See, what I think, the strong thing that I believe is, I have Congress in me because I believe in the ideology. See, the only simple fabric is we are a secular party. We do not believe in ideologies that the oppositions are believing in.
If I go onto the social media today and I call myself secular, the kind of words and the kind of abuse that I will get is, secular has been changed into secular. And apart from that, there are a lot of colloquial Hindi terms that are labeled on you, and that is so scary and funny as well.
See, honestly, I think the BJP has used the social media and the whole infrastructure around it in such a way it is inbuilt today. If they see someone talking from Congress or someone talking secular language, they need to be hit. Meaning hit, not physically hit, but with the comments and these words. These are all fixed and thought into their systems. And they have done it so well that everybody on their platform does it without even knowing that they've been trained to do that. And see, honestly speaking, what is wrong in being secular? The secular is the way that we have to be. And that is the fabric of our country, and that is what is in our constitution. Constitution is our Bible. What Baba Sahib Ambedkar gave us is our Bible. Is our Quran, it's our Bhagavad Gita.
But what Baba Sahib Ambedkar gave us in 1947 and it actually got accepted in 1950, the Congress itself has amended it so many times.
No, see, again, anything that is there needs a little bit tweaking with the age and time. So today we have the digital age. For example, the laws. You cannot use the same laws that were there in 1947 to today. Today there is so many new things that has come.
Yeah.
So that tweaking needs in anything, any system. But the basic ideology, what it is built on, is what we are talking about. If that constitution was not there, you and me couldn't be speaking like this. He couldn't be doing a job he wishes. We would still be, if Congress party didn't fight for our freedom, we would still be someone's slaves. We would have been working in some Britisher's house. We would have not been talking this language. We wouldn't be having this freedom.
I get your point there. Now, there's a very interesting question that I have, put across to a lot of people, but I would actually expect a very interesting answer from you. See, the world currently has been seeing a cycle of, I don't know whether I should say that right-wing autocratic politics or maybe strongmen. So, say for example, America, Brazil, Bolsonaro, Hungary, Turkey, if I include Mr. Putin, Xi Jinping. So these are all right-wing, strongmen, autocratic kind of people. America had a history of democracy where liberal values were loved. They were people love to talk about it, being liberal, the liberty and the freedom and everything. But there has been a swing in the entire world towards this rightism, and I don't think there is any other way to put it that yes, a current dispensation, it is not actually right, but they do love to be right. They love to be called themselves as right. Will this cycle go away, or this cycle will sustain for a long time?
we saw what happened in US. We saw a change. The same will happen in India. I believe anything that goes up has to come down. And anything that has gone up meteorically up, right? Anything that goes up too fast will come down too fast.
Too fast, okay.
Right? Come up, it has to come down. So their time is numbered. Because see, I am a youngster. Forget my party, my affiliation in it. I'm unhappy. Because the whole system and the way the whole thing is working is not to what I thought and I learnt of India to be. See, Tipu Sultan, let's take Tipu Sultan, alright? As I grew up, he was a great leader. Today they want to say he is not a great leader. See, this man only lived for 49 years and today they are trying to change his history. You understand what I'm saying? So this is not the kind of country in what we grew up. Suddenly you want to change what is taught to kids, suddenly you want to change what is in the books. This is not something that we accept. So what we learnt and what were the things done so many years is wrong. You cannot just disprove it over a single term of your government. If you ask me, I think the future is going to be more liberal people, where people can think freely, we can do anything freely. This is going to be the way it is. And exactly what Congress party or we believe is, anyone can speak. Today I am a congressman and I am giving an interview with free will and no questions asked. But this is not the same system in our opposition. They have to take permission, they have to talk, what they need to say, what has to be said. This is not how we are supposed to live. We are part of a system and an organization where we are free to do what we like and what express our things, keeping in terms our ideologies in place.